All right, good morning, everybody. We are here today in Auburn, Indiana, where we were. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Yes, we've been to the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Museum. You've seen it before. In case you haven't, check out the video in the description. I'll link the video from last year when we visited the museum. But we're actually back here today, sort of just passing through. We're on our way down, ultimately going to Georgia, but we're going to make stops in Indiana. Well, we're here in Indiana today, but we're going to make stops in Kentucky and Tennessee along the way, and stay at various campgrounds and that kind of thing. After that, Georgia is going to be the end of next week. Today is Saturday, so next Saturday we will be leaving Georgia, and don't actually know where we're going. I got yet another week of vacation, so I don't entirely know what I'm going to do with it yet. Kind of just going to wing it. My folks are going to turn around and head back to Michigan next Saturday, but I'm going to stay out for another week and decide where to go from there. But anyway, we stopped here at the museum because, as you may recall from last year, they have free RV parking with electric hookups. So you just pull in and plug in, which was really convenient. And yeah, they don't charge you for the hookups, but you know, as I always say, when a business is providing you with a service as a courtesy, be courteous back, go patronize the business, which is what we did. We went and we looked at the museum, and we got actually a complimentary private tour of the restoration shop, which was very cool. They actually have young kids, 15 to 20, working for them, volunteering, and learning how to do restorations of these old cars, which I think is just fantastic for these young guys to learn how to restore these old cars. So anyway, we have 300 miles yet to go today. We got to go down to the Dog Creek Recreation Area in Kentucky. No, I'm not making that name up. So we're gonna get on the road. We got a ways to go today. So we'll see you guys when we stop next. Well, good morning, everybody. Let's see. Well, we got here last night after dark, so obviously it was too late to do any filming because the GoPro doesn't do very well at night. And today, we wake up and it's raining, so I can't record again. So far, the trip hasn't been very conducive to filming, but we've been having a good time anyway. Took our time getting down here. It was about 300 miles. The roads leading in here, once you get off the freeway, were pretty sketchy. Very narrow, no shoulder whatsoever, just drops off into a ditch. And it was dark, so a little bit scary. But we got here, no big deal. So, as soon as I'm finished eating, I'll show you a few things I've done with the van, maybe that I didn't record. Otherwise, there's not much else we can do today. We're going to take off from here in a couple of hours and head to Rhea Springs, Tennessee, where there is a very nice primitive free campground on Rhea Springs, which is a lake. And hopefully the weather will be better down there. So I'll see you guys in a minute. One thing I forgot to mention is this is the Dog Creek recreation area. I don't know the name of the city because we have absolutely no cell service here whatsoever. Nothing. My AT&T internet thingy has no signal. Okay, with Verizon I have extended 1X, which basically means you can send a text and that's about it. So I can't look up the name of the city. But it's the Dog Creek Recreation Area. It's a very nice campground, actually. It's got nice gravel spaces, electric and water hookup, and there's a lake just over there. A lot of waterside sites. Unfortunately, they were all taken, so we had to take an inland site. But very nice campground nonetheless. If we didn't have other places to go, I'd probably stay here for a few days, and hopefully the weather would clear up. One of my very devoted fans, named Sarah, back in Michigan, was kind enough to make me some baked goods before we left. Banana bread, for example. I expected her, when she told me that she was going to make some stuff, I expected a little grocery bag with some treats in it. And then when I met up with her in Alma, she shows up with this huge box, about this big. It's about this wide, about that deep, full. 3 loaves of banana bread, 3 loaves of apple bread, 3 loaves of snickerdoodle bread, yellow cake cookies, which was unbelievable. Although, Sarah, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, they kind of crumbled. This is all that's left of them. Puppy chow, something called haystacks. I haven't tried those yet. Chocolate chip cookie bars. Haven't tried those yet either. They're up top. I actually couldn't bring all the bread with me because I didn't have enough room, so I basically brought 1 loaf of each. I'm going to eat the rest at home. So anyway, I'm going to be probably putting on some weight the next couple of weeks, eating all this stuff that Sarah gave me. So, anyway, as soon as I'm done eating again, I'll show you guys what I've done in the van. Oh, Okay, so the first thing you ought to notice is the new lighting system. 12 volt, warm white, LED rope lights. They go all around the perimeter of the ceiling and provide a nice, soft light in the evening. Much, much better than these horrible fluorescent lights. Even better than this little LED light up here. See, it's low power usage, but very harsh light. Hurt my eyes. Now, additionally, I hooked up the rope light to this little dimmer. Brighter, dimmer, off. I think it's great. I really like it. You'd be shocked at how difficult it was to find 12 volt warm white LED light rope in the length I needed. If any of you want to do this, I will put the link to the website where I bought this rope light in the description. You can actually buy it by the foot. You tell them how much you want, and I suggest you buy a little extra because it comes with this little cap here. You take this, pop this cap off the end, you cut the thing to length, and you put the cap on again where you want it. So I bought about 2 feet extra just to make sure I had enough. Now, the second thing, this is the thermostat that controls the furnace. The furnace has never worked. 2 years, I've never gotten around to fixing it because I almost never use the van during the months when the furnace is necessary. So what I have been doing for heat is this little electric heater here. Come on, camera, turn. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this little electric heater. It's got a digital thermostat on it. Provides a nice heat, and it just plugs into the 110. So obviously it only works when we're plugged in, but it does provide plenty of heat to keep the van warm. One of the problems I had not last night, but the night before, was because it's on the floor, and everybody who went to 7th grade science knows that heat rises, so it would get really warm up around this area, you know, like your waist and higher. It would be really hot, but below it would be really cold. So even though it was hot up here, the heater was still detecting it being like 50 degrees or something. So it never shut off. It just kept hotter and hotter and hotter in here. So what I ended up doing was taking this little fan right here, which plugs into a USB port that I have over there, and having it blow downward. It doesn't move a ton of air, but it moves enough to keep the air mixed up so that suddenly the thing is detecting the warmth, the heat being in the 70s where I have it set. So now the air is nice and warm all throughout the van. Makes very comfortable. The other thing I have here, I don't know if I showed you, is this little AT&T Jetpack Wi-Fi dealie. It has unlimited data, and I pay monthly for it. And basically, as long as we have AT&T service, we have unlimited internet, which we can use to watch Netflix and stuff. That's a DVD because, like I said earlier, we have no cell signal. Let's see, back here in the bed area, I installed a second little TV. I know what you're thinking. Holy crap, you have a 19-foot space. Why do you need 2 TVs? Well, because when I'm lying in bed here, I can't see the front TV. It's blocked by the bathroom. And I like to lie in bed in the evening and turn on something I've seen 100 times and kind of drift off to sleep with it on. So I got a little Roku device hooked up to it, and when we have internet, I just turn on Netflix or something and turn the volume way down and just close my eyes and drift off to sleep while I'm listening to whatever I'm watching. Also, this back window, it's a safety release here and over there. It's an escape hatch. So you pop those things and this thing swings outward and you just climb out the back if you have to. Every time it rained, the bed would get wet. And I found that the rubber seal in between the glass and the frame, where this part is what swings out. So right here in between where it swings out and the solid frame is where the rubber seal had deteriorated to the point where it was basically just powder. So I had to go online, I had to find very thin rubber strips with adhesive on them, and it was actually twice as wide as I needed it to be, so I had to cut it lengthwise, which was really tricky. And I just popped out the glass, stuck the new rubber in, closed it again, and we are perfectly sealed up. Hasn't dripped a single bit since then. So, anyway, those are just a few little things that I've done to make the van a little bit nicer for me. The lights, I think, were the biggest one. The improvement to the quality of life in here with the nice, gentle lighting is huge. So, anyway, it's still raining outside. If it stops raining, I'll take you on a tour of the campground. If not, then I'll see you down in Rio Springs. Okay, good morning everybody. Today we are at the Jackson's Island Campground here in Spring City, Tennessee. We actually set out to go to Rhea Springs recreation area, which is actually a nicer campground on the other side of the lake, but for some reason when we got there it was closed. I don't know what that was about. The information I had said it was open until December 1st, but it was closed, so I'm gonna see if I can find out what's going on and update freecampsites.net as necessary. But anyway, we got lucky. All we did was drive 9 miles around the lake and we come across this campground here. It's free primitive camping. It's a very nice little campground on this spring. As you can see, we got nice lake over here. It actually goes all the way around. The campground is kind of on a peninsula, so the water is all around us. So every site is pretty much right on the water. There's really no bad sites here. It's really a pretty nice campground, especially considering it's free. So I can't complain about it at all. Rhea Spring is a little bit more picturesque, but this is still very, very nice. In fact, they even provide us a dumpster and porta potties, which is very nice. So we got the queen and the princess all set up here. My brother-in-law got me this little, I call it Sumo's playpen. My dad calls it his jail. It's just a little easier than dealing with a leash because he'll get all tangled up in the leash, won't you, Sumo?
Yes, you will.
So we just keep him in there when we're not walking him or whatever, and he's perfectly happy. Yeah, we got the awnings out. Both awnings are out and working. Yeah, we got this nice little concrete pad here for us to set up our chairs and stuff. And fire pit over here. We're gonna have a fire later. So yeah, it's a nice little campground. I can't complain at all. Right on the water, which I love. I love camping by water. And it's the perfect time of year because the temperatures are absolutely pristine. Not sweating, you're not cold, you're perfectly comfortable, and very few bugs. Very few bugs. Most of the mosquitoes are gone. There's the occasional, box elder bug or something that flies around, but we can leave our doors and windows open and haven't had a problem. However, speaking of problems, we did have a problem when I went to take a shower this morning. Turned on my water heater, got the water nice and hot, clicked on my water pump, and the pump started running and running and running and running and wasn't pressurizing. So I came around here and I found a bunch of water coming out the side of the water tank. Come to find that this valve, which is the temperature pressure valve, which is a safety mechanism if let's say the thermostat went bad and the thing just kept on heating and heating and heating, the pressure would build and build, and theoretically speaking, the tank could explode. What's with this camera? All right, there we go. So the temperature pressure valve would automatically open and release any excess pressure to prevent anything from rupturing. Now, this thing was absolutely spraying water. As soon as I turn on the pump, it starts spraying water. There's no way the pressure is that high. So this thing has gone bad. So now we have to take this valve off, get to a hardware store, and get a replacement. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that now. Okay, so we pulled the old TMP valve. See, it's got this little probe in there that detects the temperature of the water, and if the water pressure gets too high, it releases. And we got this new one. We just went down to the hardware store nearby and got it, put it in, and tested everything, and we're good to go. So yeah, that'll hold me out until spring basically, because I'm gonna replace this water heater in the springtime. Because this is, if you recall, this is the one that I pulled out of my dad's old RV and just sort of pirated. I'm gonna replace it with one that can be lit from inside, because right now I have to, in the morning when I want to shower, I have to put my shoes on and come outside and light this thing manually. First world problems and whatnot. So we're gonna make some food and just relax the rest of the day. All right, folks, we're just gonna wrap this up here. This video was mostly traveling because we got pretty much nothing but rain up until today. So finally we have a nice day, but I just wanted to show you our little setup here real quick. We got this tripod that I bought for cooking burgers, which really makes it a lot easier to cook in situations where you don't have a cooking grill. So, and the Queen and the Princess. And, of course, got my folks. Hello. Sumo has his little thingy. Don't you, Sumo? Yes, you do. But most importantly, I want to point out, we got the net TV setup. Did it turn off? Oh, it turned off. Somebody kicked the thing. Yeah, we just plug it into that outlet there that my mom is standing in front of. There it is. Okay, bees buzzing around. Yeah, we just... Damn it! Sorry, got bees buzzing around my face. Anyway, we plug it in there. Just run it over here. It's a DC TV. And we just watch Netflix with my little Wi-Fi thing that I showed you earlier. So, as you can see, we're really roughing it here today. So...
It's a small TV.
That's right, it's a small TV. Okay, so we're just going to relax the rest of the day, and then tomorrow we're heading back to the old federal campground in Georgia, where you first saw me 2 years ago. So that's going to be a good time. We're going to be there for 4 days. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Remember to go to facebook.com/RamblinMichigander and follow us along. And we'll see you next time.